Hello, welcome to day 1 and day 2 of Fanshen's new experiential journal. My first day back from our intensive Rudra Yoga 17 was Friday. I caught up on sleep in a big way that evening before, and I limited my formal practice in the morning to 30 minutes of Rudra Go. I went into work thereafter, and the atmosphere in the office was very congenial and relaxed, and my transition back to work was seamless, and I had a very good experience with my staff that day. During the day, I did some errands, and I was aware during the entire day of my buoyant state, and I shared this with attendants at a local coffee house and employees of a couple of establishments I visited during some errands I was running. The day was very electric with very dynamic weather. A large storm came in, and we had winds of 80 to 100 miles an hour, felling trees and causing quite a ruckus. My state was tested during the day when I was in the REI parking lot, and in order to avoid a cascading waterfall that was coming down onto the sidewalk from a roof drain that was plugged, I stepped to the side, and before I could change my direction, I had set my foot in a puddle that was about 6 inches deep. And instead of reacting, cursing the situation, I laughed it off and shared my predicament with a passerby, and that was fun. Later in the evening, I shared a nice dinner with Kaive, and then taught myself how to use the iMovie function that I'm using right now. On the second day, which was today, or yesterday by now, Saturday, my morning practice consisted of Salon practice and the merging of the deity meditation, which is part of the Nundro practice, as well as 30 minutes of Rudra Go. I'm responding very strongly to the Rudra Go meditation, the breathing beyond the elements exercise. Recall I practiced this originally in the late 1980s, and at that time I didn't have as deep an experience, and I don't think I was at the same place in my overall development. Now I am connecting very strongly to the practice. This afternoon, when I went to San Francisco for a haircut and to visit with a guitar player friend of mine, on the way back from that trip, I was crossing the Bay Bridge, and I took in the entirety of the environment around me, which was extraordinarily beautiful, with all the cumulus clouds and the dark and the lighting that was evident, and it prompted me to do some of the ether breathing to connect to the free energy in my environment. That was very fruitful. Afterwards, this evening, I tended to some cleanup around the house, including clearing debris from the yard, and then trying to solve the puzzle of poor roof drainage, which was causing some leakage and flooding into our garage. my efforts did seem to pay off, and I used the activity as a period of seva, and it went very well. That's it for my first installment. Good night, all.